hardship variance, this is, one of the things that Steve talked about with variances. We would change zoning, county zoning commission to Grandfield Township zoning board. 8.4, action of the zoning commission, we would make changing it to zoning ordinance amendments to better align with what is underneath on that section. Notice of public hearing, that's a revision to align with century code. Notice of hearing shall include time, place, purpose of such hearing and shall be published for at least once per week for 2 consecutive weeks before the hearing in the official newspaper of the county. In that instance, we leave the county because we don't have a newspaper. Public hearing, at the public hearing before the zoning board, we would change that. Any person may express opposition or support for the amendment at such hearings. Following the public hearing, the zoning board shall make a recommendation to approve, deny, or modify the proposed amendment. Deliberation and decision. Upon receipt of the recommendation of the zoning commission, county commission shall make the decision to approve, deny, or approve with modification of the proposed amendments in accordance with century code. The next one we would change county to township, and then the regulatory framework one, let's stop there because this 10.1.2.1 gets long.
Okay,
Anybody have any public comment up till 10.1.1? I know this is a lot but it's a lot to go through, but we will look at it again when we make all these changes. So whatever we do today will not be final. Fair enough? I mean, if it's a lot to follow.
Yeah, good.
okay,
Okay. Any public comment? If there's none, I think Greg has something.
8.4.5, where it talks about North Dakota century code there, that's for the county, not the township.
Okay.
In century code, so I think we don't, I think we don't approve that one, but
Okay.
we leave it as the original language, but what do you guys think? I don't know.
Is that a motion?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and I'll second it for the sake of
Discussion?
discussion.
Okay. Is there any discussion? So the motion is to strike the proposed, strike all of 8.4.5.
Well,
Or no,
leave it as.
strike the amendment.
Strike the amendment, yes. Don't approve it.
Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion?
Yeah, one thing. If by chance, anything that we amend here, if it does contradict century code, can we fix it then after we find that information out? Because we obviously aren't lawyers here. If there is something that, if we find out that some error in our language isn't approved by century code, do we have the authority then to change it? Or does it just become null and void? Or is it null and void from the point it's put in?
I mean, that's above my pay grade, so
Well,
I never dealt with this kind of stuff, I'll be honest, so.
Here's what my thought is, and I'm no lawyer, but we got 3 of them sitting in the room. If we go through here, these changes aren't rock solid, they aren't rock solid set in stone today. We're advancing these proposals out of here, making these recommendations, gonna make them available to everybody. My guess is everybody's gonna go through this, and when we have this same type of meeting next time, it could be brought up. I mean, fair enough, Quinn?
Sounds good to me.
You're gonna have a lot of reading. I mean, Steve, or,
Yeah, no.
I mean, we're trying to do the best that we can. We didn't trust the county, we didn't enter into a development agreement with the county.
Right.
And it has been radio silence from the developer, really, since we didn't enter that joint powers agreement. I've talked to Wells McGifford once since then. We have sent, in May, we sent the developer and the county a letter, no response. And in June, I sent the county a letter and no response. So we're doing the best that we can. We're trying to allow a wind energy facility to be permitted in agricultural land. And there's immense frustration from me with the developer in the county right now. I'm just gonna flat out put it out there. That's off the topic of these amendments, but so Greg made a motion and Mark seconded it to not adopt the proposed amendment change on 8.4.5. Any discussion?
Call for the question.
Call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We would strike that proposed amendment change. I have one that I would like to see changed. When we're just, it says shall make a recommendation to approve, deny, or modify the proposed amendment. I'd like to change it to may. We may make the recommendation to approve, deny. Shall's a command and may is permissive. It's a small thing, but I don't know. That was just my thing. It's like, if we need to get more information type of thing, I just think it better aligns. So I'd make a motion to change that shall to a may.
On which one is,
8.4.4.
oh, okay.
Okay, I made a motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? 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 All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Since we're at the bottom of that page, I would like to get short up till here. Is there a motion and a second to adopt, to adopt everything, the name changes up till this point?
I so move.
A second?
I'll second.
Been properly moved and seconded, any discussion to adopt the changes up till this point? Or advance them? Oops. Sorry, Mark, where's that? To advance these changes. Any discussion? We'll proceed to vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, here we get into a big one. 10.1.2.1. They want to amend it to read, wind energy facilities may be constructed in the agricultural zoning district of the township, subject to the restrictions and conditions of this WEF ordinance. Different existing use or existing structure on the same parcel shall not preclude the installation of a wind energy facility. The definition, the requirements. Is there any questions on that or any discussion on that? Cause this is gonna be a big one. This is if this one, then you can't do another one, or if you do another one, you can't do this one.
This one's confusing for me. So if we vote down just the top, 10.1.2.2, how does that affect, how do we fix it going down?
If we,
If we strike and keep what we have within our zoning and just make everything wind energy related into a conditional use permit.
and that is another proposed amendment in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so it is to add wind energy facilities as a conditionally permitted use in 5.1.3.17. If we wanted to add it as a conditionally permitted use, we could. We can't do them both. So it's either permitted in all of ag land, or it's a conditionally permitted use in ag land.
Okay.
This is what my notes are. I would make a motion to say wind energy facilities may be constructed within agricultural zoning district of the township as a conditional permitted use, subject to the restrictions and conditions of this WEF ordinance. And then we would add at the 5.1.3.17, add it as a conditionally permitted use, because a lot of this stuff in here gets to be pretty wordy. And there was, I don't know, that would be my proposal, is to give a thumbs up to 10.1.2.1, but a thumbs down on 10.1.2.2, 1.2.3, 1.2.4, and the 1.2.4 continued. And then I would propose added as a conditionally permitted use in that 5.1.3.17. That would be my motion.
I can second that.
So, and this was a question that I asked Lucas last time about figuring out why one way or the other way. Do you have anything to add,
I
Lucas?
don't have any comment right now.
Okay. So, it's, changing that does not say that we can't do wind energy in Eddy County, or in Grandfield Township. It says it's a conditionally permitted use in agricultural land, so we'd have to approve that 5.1.3.17. But then we'd be able to grant the conditional use permit, and they could advance. It's a different path than the county took.
And originally, that's what the solution was
That was
from the developer,
Mm-hmm.
so. Okay,
So I made a motion and Mark seconded it. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Application for permit 10.1.3.1. Mark out appeal.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time this morning.
Sorry I have to leave, but if anybody wants to contact me, I'm available. I'll be on the road for the next 2.5 hours.
See ya. Thanks.
And just, I'll reiterate it. When we come out of this, we're making a recommendation to advance these to the next. Is everybody following me?
Yes, but I
Okay.
don't know what happens next, and I can wait to ask you at the
No,
end,
no,
or,
so
Okay.
you're wondering what happens next.
yeah,
So we get to the end of this, and unfortunately Mark had to leave, so you got 2 guys now. But we still have a quorum. But we'll go through here, we're making all these changes. We get to the end, the zoning board will basically make a recommendation to the township board to advance these changes. We'll type up all these changes. We will get rid of all of the editing. It gets sloppy, it gets cumbersome. It was the same way at the county. We'll notice a meeting. We'll put it out there. You'll get to see it. You'll get to offer public comment on those before it gets
got it.
put in. I mean, I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to be accommodating. I'm not trying to limit people's ability. And Mark had his deal come up kinda unexpectedly, and it's important that he gets to weigh in on this. So that's why maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but that's why I'm willing to give it a little more time.
Understood.
Okay, and if you got a question, just ask. 10.1.3.1, no work except for wind monitoring, soil testing, other survey work may commence to construct a wind energy facility until we change it to township. Township wind energy facility, and they have the word, we're gonna amend it to the word siting permit, but if we go with 5.3.17, it'd be a conditional use permit. Because we'd add it as a conditionally permitted use in ag land. So I would say that we'd change that citing to CUP has been issued by the Township Board of Supervisors. Respective permittee shall submit an application for said permit to the Grandfield Township zoning board. Is there any questions? And you probably noticed, I'm willing to go slower now, I was trying to get through a lot, some people marked left, so. Okay, 10.1.3.16, a fee of $1,000 plus $250 for each proposed wind turbine, up to a total amount of no more than $10,000. Additionally, the application shall pay the county's reasonable documented costs of processing the siting permit application, including but not limited to attorney's fees, notice publication fees, and notice mailing fees. We would change, the county to the township there. Is there any discussion on that one?
From the public or from the,
Yeah, well, anybody.
okay,
Should it be, instead of citing permit, be CUP? Am I not reading the
Oh,
right
I
spot?
think that's right.
processing,
But I would just say, instead of getting honed in on CUP and citing and getting them contradictory, what if we just struck citing and left permit?
okay.
I already scribbled out permit though. So, processing the permit application, just try to keep it so it isn't overly whatever. Okay.
Do we, I don't know, do we wanna leave it the same, or do we wanna change the amounts?
Well, when they submitted to the township before, it was $10,000 is what they submitted to the township to hear the permit. A fee of $1,000 plus $250 for each proposed turbine. At one time, I think Grandfield was scheduled for 22 turbines. I don't know what it's at now. So 22 times 250 comes out to $5,500.
Then that would've been 6,500.
Yeah.
So,
Are you wanting to change that dollar amount?
well, we could increase it to the, so much a tower, but I don't know.
Anybody have any public comment? Had a lot of meetings. Burnt up a lot of paper.
Well, just leave it the same and,
Leave it the same, okay?
okay,
We'd just be striking citing
okay.
and changing it to township. So the next one, we'd be making the change from zoning commission to the Grandfield Township zoning board. My proposal would be to change may hold a public hearing to we must. I don't believe in limiting people's opinions. That's just me. And then, I would say that we had to notice it at least 2 weeks prior to the hearing in the official newspaper of Eddy County. We'd leave Eddy there. And we'd make the changes to Grandfield Township zoning board. And then may make a recommendation to approve, deny, or approve with conditions. That would be, those were my notes, I guess, so I'd make a motion on that. Is there
I'll
any,
second
is there any discussion from the public?
I just have a question, it says published at least 1 week. Earlier, they changed it from, I don't know, 1 week to 2 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if what's legally required, I have to assume.
So it's two consecutive, well, yeah, all of our other ones, so I'm gonna, since I kind of proposed that change, all of, the county had a hell of a time noticing things properly. It was a wreck. So if we keep it consistent and everything has to be noticed for 2 consecutive weeks prior to the public hearing, I think that removes any, oh, I got the wrong one. That's just my take on it. it's no fun getting stuff noticed in the paper. It isn't hard, but that publishing deadline catches up on you. And, you know, the paper comes out, like, we get it on a Saturday, or you can look at it online on a Saturday, but the published date is Monday. So I mean, the point of me making that amendment to say 2 weeks is just to try to keep things consistent.
Got it.
I mean, but you can provide your comment on it.
No, I'm just reading it, it just says that, it doesn't just say at one time, at least 1 week, that's how I'm reading it.
Providing published notice at least 1 week prior to the hearing in the official newspaper of Eddie County.
Yep, and then he's proposing
Oh.
changing it to 2.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cause I just don't wanna, when we're going through this whole deal, everything else has been 2, and I just would say it'd be the shits to say 1, and it needed to be 2. And I'm trying to make this more, I don't know what the word is.
That 1 week was PRC's amendment too, wasn't it?
I think,
That's
yes,
what they
that was in the
amended, that's
middle
what
line.
PRC wanted, was 1 week.
Yep. Here's the thing. Going through this, and it's easy to write something the first time. It's a pain in the butt going through and taking out a word and adding a word, and it gets so damn messy. And we're trying to get through it. I mean, and we can go back in a correspondence that we had, and there was this option 1 and this option 2, and then at the meeting there was option 3 sprung on us. We didn't go with option 3, I can't remember if it was option 1 or 2 that we went to. But they were willing to help on this, but we had to give it to the county. You know, enter into a joint powers agreement with the county, and we didn't enter into a joint powers agreement because of trust issues. So now we're doing this on our own, trying to make it so they can advance and submit a permit and everything else. I mean, we aren't trying to be a bunch of jerks. We aren't trying to, every time that they've asked for a meeting, we've done a meeting, and we've done it in a timely manner.
And plus, we're getting ignored now by the county.
Yeah, but I wanna keep it on this. Okay, the next one. Deliberation and decision. The proposed amendment would read, upon receipt to the recommendation of the zoning commission, the county commission shall make a decision on the citing permit application and may approve, deny, or approve with conditions. They wanted that change. The original language was deliberation and decision. If the zoning commission finds a prospective permittee will comply with all requirements, it may within 30 days after the hearing issue a permit.
Yeah. I think the original language is just fine there. What do you
Okay.
think?
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that a motion.
Okay. Greg made a motion to keep the original language. I will second the motion to get it to discussion. Is there any public comment on that change? To give it the 30-day window. I will provide my discussion. The language that the county had, when the county in December, they had 30 days. They could have held their hearing and came out of that hearing and said, we'll act within 30 days and done more research. This proposed amendment change wouldn't have had that happening. It would have said that upon receipt to the recommendation of the zoning commission, from the zoning commission, the county commission shall make a decision for the citing permit. It doesn't give them that 30 days in there, like if they, I think the original language is good. Is there anybody that has anything else to say on it? And from everybody?
My only question is the may. But there needs to be a decision within 30 days, right? Is that the intent?
Well, what I think is,
Or,
would you like to keep the original, here, I'm gonna ask you this, Steve. Would you be cool with the original language and say it shall within 30 days?
Well, I don't think it should be shall issue a permit, but just shall either issue, deny something, so there's a decision,
So you like the,
right? Or,
the proposed change then, I think, shall
Upon receipt,
make a decision
I
on the
guess.
citing permit.
I guess so. If you wanna put in there within 30 days, I mean, I think that would be fine.
would you,
I don't understand what they got here, I mean, maybe,
I understand both of them, basically.
you know, it doesn't have a timeline, which I prefer a timeline.
So,
So go with, in your opinion, go with the proposed and add within 30 days.
Right,
just at the end,
yeah,
comma, within 30 days.
yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Greg made a motion and I made a second to get it to discussion. If we go and we vote down Greg's motion and then just propose an amendment to add,
Yeah.
that gets us there. Okay, so any discussion, any discussion, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote on Greg's proposal to keep the original language. All in favor? All opposed? Aye.
I
Motion is
failed.
failed. Okay, so now would you like to,
I'll make a motion that we add at the end of 10.1.3.3, the proposed add within 30 days.
okay, within 30 days? Greg made a motion to add that. I will second it. Is there any discussion from anybody? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll board a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The proposal to add within 30 days will be advanced.